Silent preparations. The Grand Assembly Hall of the Galactic Alliance glittered with artificial starlight, casting prismatic reflections across the gathered representatives of 200 worlds. Ambassador Elena Reyes of Earth stood alone at the central podium, her shoulders squared against the weight of countless alien gazes. Despite her diplomatic attire, a sleek blue uniform adorned with Earth's planetary insignia, she felt woefully underdressed among the ornate bioregalia and ceremonial armor worn by the elder races. The Council has reviewed Earth's petition for increased mining rights in your own asteroid belt, announced High Counselor Vex Thrall, his translucent appendages pulsing with bioluminescent displeasure. Your request is denied. Furthermore, we find your failure to contribute adequately to Alliance defense initiatives concerning. Elena maintained her composure, though her knuckles whitened around the podium's edge. Earth had joined the Alliance 50 years ago, welcomed as a developing species with quaint potential. That patronizing welcome had quickly soured into exploitation. With respect, High Counselor, Elena replied, her voice steady despite the tension. Earth contributes according to the development tier we were assigned. We cannot provide what we do not possess. Laughter rippled through the chamber. The clicking mandibles of the Zeth Collective, the resonant humming of the Myrialan delegates, the guttural barks of the Krell Imperium representatives. Admiral Drax of the Krell military caste rose to his full height, 3 meters of armored reptilian muscle. The human pretends ignorance. Your world sits on resources vital to Alliance security, yet you hoard them behind claims of sovereignty. Perhaps Earth requires guidance. The threat hung in the air, unmistakable. Elena felt a chill despite the climate-controlled environment. The Alliance Charter guarantees territorial autonomy, she countered. For contributing members, Drax sneered. Earth takes shelter beneath our defense grid while offering nothing but excuses. High Counselor Vex Thrall raised a limb for silence. This debate grows tiresome. Earth has 72 standard cycles to reconsider its position regarding helium-3 extraction rights and military contribution quotas. Should Earth remain obstinate, the Council will consider appropriate measures to ensure compliance. Elena bowed slightly, her expression carefully neutral. Earth acknowledges the Council's message and will respond accordingly. As she departed the chamber, whispers followed her, dismissive, contemptuous. Earth was just another primitive world to be managed, its resources harvested for the greater good of more advanced civilizations. Humans were considered barely space-capable, their military technology laughably obsolete compared to races that had mastered interstellar travel millennia ago. None of them knew the truth. Deep beneath the Antarctic ice shelf, in a facility that didn't exist on any public record, Commander Alexei Volkov stood before a wall of holographic displays. His weathered face, scared from the Mars insurgency 15 years prior, reflected the blue glow of tactical readouts. They've made their move, then, he stated as Elena's report concluded. Elena's hologram nodded, just as we predicted. The Krell are pushing hardest. They've positioned a training fleet near Jupiter's orbit. The Zeth are supporting them politically. Admiral Kiana Chen, commander of Earth's Defense Force, stepped forward. At 62, her silver-streaked hair and calculating eyes belied the steel in her spine. And the Myrians, playing both sides as usual, Elena replied. They're concerned about escalation but won't oppose the Krell openly. Kiana nodded slowly, exchanging glances with Volkov. It's time, then. The room fell silent. For 50 years, Earth had played the part of the technological underdog, a young species stumbling into a galaxy of ancient civilizations. Earth's public space force consisted of a handful of outdated cruisers and defense platforms, enough to handle minor piracy, but nothing that could challenge even a fraction of the Alliance military. It was all an elaborate deception. Operation Chimera is ready, Volkov confirmed, his voice grave. The question is, do we have authorization? Director Sophia Zhang of Earth Intelligence stepped from the shadows. The Security Council vote was unanimous. If the Alliance moves against Earth, we reveal everything. Kiana approached the central command table, pressing her palm against the biometric scanner. The table illuminated, displaying a three-dimensional map of the solar system. Scattered throughout were thousands of signatures, hidden facilities, cloaked defense platforms, and stealth vessels that had never been registered with the Alliance. At last, Kiana addressed the quantum AI that managed Earth's true defense network. Begin Awakening Protocol. Authorization, Chen Omega 73. A gentle masculine voice responded. Awakening Protocol initiated, Admiral. Ghost Fleet moving to standby status. Estimated time to full combat readiness, 6 hours. On the displays, points of light began to appear throughout the solar system. Stealth satellites activating, weapon platforms powering up, hidden shipyards deep in the Kuiper Belt revealing vessels that had never been seen by alien eyes. For 50 years, while smiling and bowing before the Alliance, humanity had been preparing, building, innovating, and hiding their true capabilities. The lessons of history had taught humans to never again be at the mercy of those with superior power. "What about the civilian population?" asked Elena, concern evident in her voice. "Emergency protocols are in place," Director Zhang replied. "Shelter systems are ready, food and medical supplies stockpiled. We've been preparing for this possibility since first contact." Volkov's expression remained grim. "The public doesn't know about Chimera. There will be panic when they realize we've been lying about our military capacity." "Better panic than subjugation," Kiana stated firmly. "The Alliance believes they're dealing with a primitive world they can bully into submission. Let them come expecting sheep. They'll find wolves." Aboard the Krell flagship Inevitable Dominance, Admiral Drax reviewed the approach vectors toward Earth. His second-in-command, Sub-Commander Vex, appeared concerned. "The humans have made no response to our fleet movements," Vex noted. "No diplomatic outreach, no military posturing." Drax's scales rippled with amusement. "They cower, hoping we will lose interest. Typical of prey species. Intelligence reports show increased communications between their major power centers, but their military vessels remain docked. Their orbital platforms haven't even adjusted their defensive screens. Because they know resistance is futile," Drax replied dismissively. "Their technology is primitive. Their largest warship would struggle against our lightest cruiser." "Still," Vex persisted, "the lack of any response is unusual." Drax turned to the tactical display. "The humans will submit once we establish orbital dominance. Prepare the fleet for transition to Earth space. We'll position our forces to neutralize their pathetic orbital defenses, then dictate terms." "Yes, Admiral," Vex responded, still troubled by the eerie silence from Earth. As the Krell fleet accelerated toward the inner solar system, automated sensor probes spread out ahead of them. None detected the whisper-silent shapes moving into position throughout the asteroid belt. None registered the energy signatures of weapons that operated on principles the Alliance had never encountered. Earth watched and waited. Elena Reyes returned to Earth aboard an Alliance diplomatic shuttle, maintained the pretense until the last moment. As her craft entered Earth atmosphere, she activated a secure channel. "I'm home. What's our status?" Admiral Chen's voice came through clearly. "Ghost Fleet is fully operational. Defense grid at 100% capacity. Quantum entanglement communications are online and undetectable. The Krell fleet has passed Mars orbit and is proceeding exactly as predicted." And the Council? Still in session, debating the Earth question. They expect a routine show of force followed by our immediate surrender. Elena gazed out at the blue horizon of her homeworld. How long until they realize their mistake? Approximately 12 hours. The Krell will enter our outer defense perimeter at 600 tomorrow. Elena closed her eyes briefly. After 50 years of hiding, it's almost hard to believe it's finally happening. "We never wanted this," Kiana reminded her. "We just prepared for it." As her shuttle descended toward the gleaming spires of New Geneva, Alina thought about the billions of people going about their daily lives below, unaware that their world stood on the precipice of revealing its greatest secret and potentially igniting an interstellar war. The Alliance had made a critical error in their assessment of humanity. They had mistaken patience for weakness, preparation for primitiveness. They had never bothered to ask why a species that had torn itself apart with world wars, survived multiple extinction-level events, and still clawed its way to the stars might be dangerous when cornered. They were about to learn. Deep in Earth's orbit, cloaking fields began to shimmer as they prepared to drop. Hidden weapon platforms aligned their targeting systems, and in bases throughout the solar system, human crews prepared for battle, their ships bearing no insignia, their technology about to shock a galaxy that had underestimated them for the last time. The revelation. Dawn broke over the Pacific as the Krell invasion fleet entered Earth's orbital space. Their massive vessels, 17 capital ships flanked by dozens of support craft, moved with the confidence of absolute superiority. Aboard the command ship, Admiral Drax watched the blue-green planet with anticipation. "Communications from Earth, Admiral," reported his signals officer. "They're requesting to discuss terms." Drax's mouth curled into what passed for a smile among his species. "Put them through." The holographic display flickered, and Admiral Kiana Chen appeared. Her uniform was simple, unadorned. Nothing like the ceremonial battle dress Drax had expected for such a momentous surrender. "This is Admiral Kiana Chen of Earth Defense Force. You have entered Earth's sovereign space without authorization." Drax leaned forward. "We come under authority of the Galactic Alliance to ensure Earth's compliance with resource-sharing directives. Power down your defensive systems and prepare to receive Alliance administrators." Chen's expression remained impassive. "I'm afraid that won't be possible. Your fleet has 30 seconds to reverse course." Laughter erupted across the Krell bridge. Drax himself let out a rumbling chuckle. "Or what, human? Your pitiful defenses are no match for even one of our destroyers." 20 seconds, Chen replied calmly. Drax's amusement hardened into irritation. "Enough games. Target their primary defense satellites. Show them the futility of resistance." "Energy spike detected," cried the Krell sensor officer, his voice rising in sudden alarm. Multiple signatures appearing throughout the system. "What?" Drax spun toward the tactical display as it erupted with new contact signatures. Where moments before Earth had seemed defenseless, now hundreds of previously undetectable vessels were decloaking, sleek, angular ships of unfamiliar design, their hulls absorbing rather than reflecting scanner beams. 10 seconds. Chen continued, still maddeningly calm. Throughout the solar system, Earth's ghost fleet revealed itself. Stealth platforms emerged from hiding places in the asteroid belt. Massive gun emplacements rose from the lunar surface. And in Earth orbit, a defensive grid beyond anything the Alliance had attributed to humanity shimmered into visibility. "Impossible," Drax whispered, his reptilian eyes widening. "This technology, humans can't possibly." "Time's up," Chen stated. "Atlas, execute Operation Chimera." The response was immediate and overwhelming. Concentrated energy beams lanced from lunar platforms, slicing through the shields of 3 Krell destroyers as if they were paper. Quantum-locked missiles, technology the Alliance had believed theoretical at best, streaked toward the invasion fleet, bypassing defensive countermeasures. Evasive maneuvers. Drax roared, but it was too late. Earth's response was not just powerful, it was precisely coordinated. The hidden fleet moved with perfect synchronization, targeting propulsion systems and weapons arrays with surgical precision. Within 3 minutes, 5 Krell vessels were crippled. Within 5, their flagship shields had collapsed under concentrated fire from weapons operating on principles the Krell engineers couldn't understand, let alone counter. "Admiral," Sub-Commander Vex shouted over the chaos of the bridge, "we must retreat. Their technology, it's beyond anything in our intelligence briefings." "Impossible." Drax repeated, shock giving way to rage. They're primitives. They've been in space less than 3 centuries. On the still active communication channel, Admiral Chen spoke again. This demonstration represents less than 30% of Earth's defensive capability. Admiral Drax, your fleet is now surrounded. Surrender or be destroyed. The tactical display confirmed her claim. Human vessels had executed a perfect encirclement, closing all retreat vectors. Worse, sensors detected massive energy signatures powering up throughout the system. Planet-based weapons capable of obliterating the remainder of the Krell fleet with a single volley. For the first time in his military career, Admiral Drax knew true fear. The emergency session of the Galactic Alliance Council was called less than 6 hours later. Ambassador Elena Reyes stood once again at the central podium, but this time the chamber was silent. No dismissive whispers, no contemptuous glances, only shock and growing apprehension. The Earth delegation thanks the Council for convening this emergency session. Elena began, her voice carrying clearly through the hushed chamber. As you have no doubt learned, an alliance fleet led by the Krell Imperium attempted an unauthorized military action in Earth space. That fleet has been neutralized. Neutralized was a diplomatic term. In reality, 13 Krell warships had been disabled, their propulsion and weapons systems destroyed with surgical precision. The remaining vessels, including the flagship, had surrendered unconditionally. This unprovoked aggression, Elena continued, combined with the Council's tacit approval, constitutes a violation of the Alliance Charter, specifically Articles 7 and 12 regarding sovereignty of member worlds. High Counselor Vex Thrall's appendages trembled visibly. Ambassador Reyes, the Council did not authorize military action against Earth. Admiral Drax acted without. Records from the Krell command ship indicate otherwise. Elena interrupted, her tone hardening. We have evidence of communications between Admiral Drax and 7 Council members, including yourself, High Counselor, discussing the pacification of Earth. Murmurs of alarm spread through the chamber. More pressingly, Elena continued, we must address the deliberate deception perpetrated against this council. The massive display screen behind her activated, showing images of Earth's hidden fleet, advanced weapon platforms, and manufacturing facilities throughout the solar system. For 50 years, Earth has been classified as a Tier 3 developing world with minimal space defense capability. This assessment was inaccurate. The understatement sent a ripple of unease through the Council. Earth has maintained a policy of defensive readiness since joining the Alliance. We disclosed the capabilities we chose to disclose. The Alliance Charter does not require full military transparency from member worlds. This is outrageous, bellowed the Zeth collective representative, mandibles clicking furiously. You've been building war fleets in secret. Elena's expression remained calm. The Zeth collective maintains 17 undisclosed military installations in the Proxima system. The Mirialan Confederation has developed biological weapons on Station Omega-9 despite signing the Rigel Conventions prohibiting such research. She paused as shocked silence fell. Earth has excellent intelligence capabilities as well. We've been watching you as carefully as you've been watching us. High Counselor Vex Thrall's color had faded to a sickly pale. What does Earth want? Elena looked around the chamber, meeting the eyes of each major representative. Earth wants what we have always wanted, to be treated as equals. We joined this alliance in good faith, hoping to contribute to a greater galactic community. Instead, we found ourselves manipulated, exploited, and ultimately threatened. She gestured to a human aide, who distributed data tablets to each council member. These contain the terms Earth requires for continued alliance membership. They are non-negotiable. The council members studied the documents, expressions of shock spreading across alien faces. This demands reclassification of Earth as a Tier 1 power, Vex Thrall stated, voice faint. Based on our demonstrated capabilities, that seems appropriate, Elena replied. And veto power in the Security Council, also appropriate. "This is coercion," hissed the Zeth representative. Elena's smile was cold. "No, Representative Kavath. Coercion was threatening Earth with military action to extract our resources. This is diplomacy between equals, something the Alliance has never offered us until now." Admiral Kiana Chen stood on the observation deck of EDF Prometheus, Earth's first officially acknowledged Tier 1 battleship. Through the viewport, she watched as Alliance representatives toured the vessel, the first official diplomatic visit to a human capital ship. Commander Volkov joined her, hands clasped behind his back. "The Krell delegation looks physically ill," he observed with grim satisfaction. 50 years of underestimating humans, only to discover we've leapfrogged their technology in key areas. Kiana replied, "It's a difficult adjustment for a species that prides itself on military superiority." Director Zhang approached, tablet in hand. "The treaty modifications have been ratified. Earth is now officially recognized as a Tier 1 power with all associated rights and responsibilities." Kiana nodded. "And the helium-3 extraction rights. The Alliance acknowledges Earth's full sovereignty over all solar system resources," Zhang confirmed. "They're being remarkably accommodating now that they understand our true capabilities." "Fear is a powerful motivator," Volkov remarked. Kiana frowned. "Not ideal. Respect would be preferable to fear." "Respect will come," Zhang assured her. "Already some of the younger races are approaching us for technology exchange programs. They see us as a counterbalance to the elder race's dominance." On the deck below, Ambassador Elena Reyes guided the alien delegation through a carefully scripted tour. Certain technologies remained hidden. Humanity had learned the value of keeping some cards unplayed. But enough was revealed to ensure the message was understood. Earth was not to be trifled with. "Do you think they'll try again?" Volkov asked quietly. "Try to put us back in our place." Kiana watched a Mirialan scientist examining a quantum communication array with poorly disguised envy. "Not militarily. But the political games will continue. We've changed the balance of power overnight. There will be consequences. Better those consequences than submission," Zhang stated firmly. Kiana nodded in agreement. Operation Chimera has achieved its primary objective. Earth stands as an equal in the Alliance. Now comes the harder part. "What's that?" Volkov asked. "Proving we deserve that position," Kiana replied. "Humanity has revealed its strength. Now we must show wisdom to match." In the months that followed, the galaxy adjusted to the new reality of human capability. Trade agreements were renegotiated. Military cooperation initiatives began under more equitable terms. And throughout Alliance space, perceptions of humanity transformed, from dismissal to wary respect. On Earth itself, the revelation of the decades-long deception caused initial turmoil. Public protests erupted in major cities as citizens grappled with the knowledge that their governments had maintained a secret military buildup while claiming peaceful intentions. Yet as the full story emerged, of Alliance exploitation and the genuine threat Earth had faced, public opinion shifted. The Ghost Fleet, once Earth's greatest secret, became a symbol of human ingenuity and determination. In a quiet garden at New Geneva, Elena Reyes met with High Counselor Vex Thrall, away from the formal settings of Alliance chambers. The alien's color had returned to normal, though his movements remained cautious. "Your people have surprised us all," Ambassador Vex Thrall admitted, multifaceted eyes studying her carefully. "In 3,000 cycles, I cannot recall such a dramatic reordering of galactic politics without a shot being fired." "We fired quite a few shots, High Counselor," Elena reminded him. "Just with precision rather than malice." "Indeed." He paused, appendages moving in a gesture of contemplation. Many in the council wonder what else humans might be concealing. Elena smiled. "That's a healthy perspective for all species to maintain, isn't it? After all, we learned our approach from the Alliance itself. The Zeth Collective, the Krell Imperium, even your own people. Everyone keeps secrets." "Perhaps," Vex Thrall conceded, "but few execute deception on such a scale. for so long with such discipline. It suggests troubling capabilities or admirable foresight. Alina countered. Earth joined a community of advanced civilizations after barely surviving our own violent history. We learned from that history to prepare for the worst while hoping for the best. She gazed up at the stars becoming visible in the twilight sky. Humanity doesn't want domination, High Counselor. We never did. We simply refused to be dominated. Vex Frail followed her gaze upward. The Alliance has existed for 50,000 years by maintaining certain hierarchies, certain understandings about which voices carry weight. Those days are over, Alina stated simply. The future of the Alliance must be built on genuine equality, or it has no future at all. As night fell over Earth, ships from a dozen worlds moved through the solar system. Diplomatic vessels, trade ships, cultural exchanges, and among them, always watchful, moved the sleek dark shapes of Earth's defense fleet. No longer hidden, but a reminder of humanity's promise and warning to the stars. Underestimate us at your peril.